And the best and the greatest day to be alive is today. And welcome to Living Unchained podcast. I'm your host, Jay Melane, also known as Wise. I am an author and also the tech innovator.
And I am your other host. I am Lekeisha, author, speaker, coach, and trainer.
Come on now. This is the place where we be dropping 24 karat gold bars in the family. This is a special episode. We're going to be talking about aging matters. And I tell you right now, you do not want to miss this episode right here because there's some things right here that we don't think about as we age and how we address life with ourselves, with our loved ones, caregiving, caretaking, all that above. So let me drop some 24 karat gold bars right now, real quick. Did you know, according to the CDC, about 1 in 5 adults aged 65 and older experience social isolation, which increase the risk of dementia and other health-related issues. All right, now, also, did you know nearly 53 million Americans provide unpaid care to an adult or child, with 61% of them balancing jobs, family, and caregiving responsibilities. Okay, again, did you know? Study shows that staying mentally active through long-term learning, volunteering, and creative outlets can reduce cognitive decline by up to 30%. Come on now. So this is information for you guys to know. So when we dive into this episode, we need y'all guys to have your notepads and to be ready. But before we do that, I need y'all guys to subscribe, hit the like button, and definitely share. Hey, we're a community here, family, and you can join the Break Free Nation. Just go to livingunchainedpodcast.com and then click on the link for the Break Free Nation and be part of this wonderful community that definitely will be a blessing for each and every person. All right, now, so we got a special guest in the house, the world now. He is, I'm telling you right now, this man right here, he knows everything about dementia, caregiving, and everything like that. Tell you right now, this man will be dropping 24 karat gold bars indeed. So we're gonna welcome our guest, and that is the amazing Coach Mike Patterson. How you doing today?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. How's
Awesome.
everyone?
Well, you're doing good, man. Hey, we even doing better since you're in the house, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a podcast that we love to have a conversation and stuff. You at the time of recording, you get ready to celebrate homecoming for your amazing university that you're from. So you know what I'm saying?
Eagle, right?
I'll give you your respect and stuff because we are rivals, so I'll leave that alone. So I'll give it's just due. Congratulations on another successful homecoming, another successful year at your place. I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna do anything else extra on that. So congratulations. Since you represent the color, so I had to say something on that. So we thank you taking time out of your productive schedule to make sure that you come in. Man, you talking about aging matters, brother. And I wanna bounce off this idea right here. The emotional and physical challenges caregivers face. And I want to speak for I'll start with myself. I was challenged a couple of years ago when my mother actually started getting ill. She was actually getting hospitalized for a whole lot of issues she had in her body, a lot of pain and stuff that was unannounced. We didn't know what the cause was for and all the stuff like that. So I asked, being the only child, I definitely had to step in and assist her in a lot of ways, with the doctor appointments, actually staying with her, make sure she has some wear care, whatever is needed around the house that she couldn't handle, make sure I'm there to handle things physical, be there as a emotional support things. And sometimes, I'll be honest, we bump heads because our philosophy, how we look at things, is sometimes it's different. But I understood that sometimes it's not for me to say anything, but to be there just to listen. And that took me the time to actually get that together. And it actually took time because my mom came to me and told me, hey, I need you to just listen. And I had to take that in because sometimes as caregivers, we so busy wanting to being me, I had this complex sometimes of saving the day, just getting the task done and stuff, and realizing there's an emotional element to that, not just physical, but it's an emotional thing that's attached to you caregiving and dealing with aging. And you know, we want to address the physical pain, the physical loss of certain things, the physical ability, but there's an emotional thing, and I didn't understand that at first dealing with my mom. The emotional standpoint that would cause me to actually think, you know, this physical pain is also attached to emotional pain. So I had to readjust my thought process and say, you know what? Let me sit here and listen. Let me sit here as we go to the doctors, as we address the doctors and stuff, because we're a team, we go ahead and do that. But at times in the quiet moments, the isolated moments, that we need to actually sit down and talk and deal with the emotional strain that your elders might be going through, and be able to listen to it. Then also the emotional stress that the individual like myself were having, and realize, okay, I need an avenue to get out and express myself and deal with certain things as well. So it's really a challenge when you being a caregiver, not just dealing with the routines of the matter of things, but also dealing with the standpoint of dealing with people or humans, especially your loved ones. So I love to drop it to Coach Lekeisha. Coach Lekeisha, what's your thought process about the emotional and physical challenge in there? Then we're going to go to our expert, because I know he's going to be dropping some 24 karat gold bars indeed. So Coach Lekeisha, what's your thoughts?
You know, when you think about caregiving, sometimes, like you said, you have to really know, how to really help your loved ones, but you're doing it from the way you know, right? So sometimes you may not be prepared, and how to move forward in it. Like with my mother, when she actually was not in a position where she was able to take care of herself, it was dropped in my lap, without, any platform process in order to make sure it worked the way it needs to work. I had to transition my mom from our home state to the where I was located, and I had to really move quickly. So I didn't really know how to do it, but emotions, the way I do things and the way my mom does things is totally different. I felt like I was back when I was a child again, but at the end of the day, I had to maintain that because I knew she needed me at that point. So with that being said, I didn't really know how to do it perfectly, but I know I needed to take care of my mom, what she needed. But I didn't know how to weed the way I was really perfecting the way she wants it done. I'm dealing with that. Like, okay, this is my mom. How do I do this right? I want to make sure she's good, because once she starts feeling better, what do I do then? I want to make sure she's honored correctly. So I'm going with that emotional standpoint. So I would like to know from you, Coach Mike, like, how do you deal with that? How do you begin to maintain the space and taking care of your loved one, and definitely keeping emotions in a way that is going to be good for both of you?
Absolutely. Yes. When you talk about aging matters, specifically related to caregiving, specifically related to caregiving for your parents. Number one, traditionally with caregivers, when there is a diagnosis or a traumatic event, most caregivers are ready to jump in and provide that total care. Um, you know, okay, mom or dad, or in this case, mom or dad, has this chronic condition. I'm going to jump right on in. I'm going to take care of her. I'm going to make sure she's good, she's healthy, and this and that. And so as caregivers, they jump in and they want to do everything, right? Which is commendable, because, that's the person that you love and you want to be there for them. But when you think about it, and you talk about the emotions, right? So as a caregiver, you want to come in and do everything, okay? Which in turn takes somewhat of the purpose or the abilities of the individual being taken care of for granted, right? Not allowing that person to still continue to do the things they can do, right? But as a caregiving, coming in and being more of a care partner, supporting them on the things that they can do, and kind of filling in where you would have to as an able-bodied individual, right? Because the person that's being taken care of is also going through the emotional toll of not being able to do it themselves when they used to be able to do that. And losing that independence is difficult for people, right? And they'll express it in different ways, right? And so even though it's like, yes, hey, mom, I'm here to take care of you and do everything, you know, you're doing everything. So now what is there for her to do? Right?
Right.
And in some cases, you'll have individuals who will allow for that individual to go ahead and just do everything. And then they start to lose their abilities. And then what happens, they become less independent and more dependent on the individual, which in turn creates that caregiver burnout, because now the caregiver is doing everything on top of their normal routine, and you can't burn a candle at two ends of the stick, right? And so you have your life going on one end, you got her life, her care going on another end, and eventually it comes to a burnout because sometimes it just becomes too much, especially because most caregivers are trying to do it on their own as well, right? And so as a caregiver, there's a lot of things that come into play to be able to support you as a caregiver, as far as finding resources that help support you, or family members who are there to provide some type of support, and so there is no blueprint or manual on what caregiving looks like. Everybody's journey is going to be different. There are some similarities, but in most cases, like I mentioned, caregivers are ready to take over and take care of the individual, thus the individual losing that independence, and being emotional about losing that independence, because they still, just as upset and angry you may be at having to do everything for this person now, they're just as angry and upset that you have to do it for them when they used to be able to do it, right? So it goes on both ends. So it's emotional on both sides, and how it's expressed is different, for each individual. And so as caregivers, it's up to us to understand. That's why the term caregivers, the term caregiver is like you're giving. I prefer the term care partner, right?
Okay, now. All right.
I like that.
I like, I feel that one.
Let's do our care together. Let's still allow you to do things you can do, right? Still support the things that you can do, that you like to do, as long as you can possibly do it. And then I fill in the gaps where necessary, right? So even if, mobility may be an issue, right? But there's ways to increase mobility, right? There's a myth that, older adults can't exercise, and that's totally not true. Movement is important. Our bodies are made to move. And so, maybe, we're not asking an 80-year-old to go to Planet Fitness and, throw up 300 on the bench press, but, you can assist that individual, maybe walking around the kitchen table a few times a day, right?
Wow.
Walking through the home, with their walker, so that maybe it becomes more familiar to them, so they're less of a falls risk, right? And so there's different ways to incorporate movement into an older adult's life, right? And so the thing about it is, sometimes as caregivers, thinking outside of the box is difficult, because the task of caregiving is very challenging. Okay. When you talk about taking care of someone, especially 24 hours a day, and you're thinking about their true needs, right? their medications, whether they need some type of medical attention or whatever the case may be. Those are the things that are heavy on the caregiver's mind. They're not really thinking about, how do I get mom or dad moving again, or things of that nature. How do I support them doing what they still can do? And so it's a challenge, but it's not impossible, right? It just takes some intentional work around it. Because like I mentioned, there is no manual to caregiving, right? You're really learning on the fly, because many people aren't growing up with the intentions on being a caregiver. Most of us want to age gracefully and enjoy our golden ages, our golden years. Traveling and eating is what most people tend to do, during retirement. So, no one's thinking, oh yeah, after all this work and living all this life, I'm gonna be a caregiver. So it's usually not something that's people are prepared for as well. But that also comes with a lot of other things that I'm sure we'll get into a little bit more. But when you talk about emotions and caregiving, those are some of the things that you have to consider. In those types of situations.
Okay, now, family, if you are enjoying this amazing episode, please subscribe, hit the like button, and definitely share. Hey, we're a community here, and the Break Free Nation is here for you. So go to livingunchainedpodcast.com, and there's links that will take you directly to that amazing community where we be dropping 24 karat gold bars indeed. So we want to thank everybody who already signed up and the ones who going to be signed up in the future, because like I said, we are a community. And family, thank you so much. So not going to hold y'all guys. Back to this amazing episode. Come on now.
I just wanted to say something real quick, and I know everyone's probably listening. This is breaking people free right now, because let me tell you something.
Come on
the
now.
whole point, you said something about the medication. I want to make sure it's right. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I grew up with a family. They always had bags of medication and stuff like that. So you got to keep that right and manage it and put it together, right? That's the whole point. So you got to make sure that's done, right? So you thinking about that, being a caregiver, you want to make sure that's done, right? Then also you want to make sure they, like you said, to maintain their independence. You want them to get better. And when they get better, you want them to be mobile. You want them to do their things, like whatever they love to do, listening to music, all of those different, board games and things of that way. So one thing I will say, as far as my mom, I'm talking about a woman that's very independent. I was born in the inner city of Detroit, Michigan, city woman. I knew my mom, like, she's that one. She taught me how to be independent, taught me how to make sure to maintain, that was always ingrown. So I knew that she was going through a season of not being able to take care of herself. So when she got better, listen, when my mom got better, I felt like, Joanne Moore, that's my mom's name. I felt like I was kind of like a little bit when I was a kid again. It's like my mom was used to take care of you and she take care of everybody. I felt like my mom wanted to be my mom again. And I said, okay, wait, Mom, I'm a grown woman now. I just want to take care of you. I want to support you, but I don't want you to take your independence away. So it's like that balance of how to work together with that. And I love how you said partnership. It's not about just caregiving. It's about, let's do this together. I just want to support you. I just want to know how can we make sure we have balance with that? Because it's not that I want to take over it, because, my mom's like a fighter. She's like, look, I'm going to get it together. I may not can do what I want to do, but I promise you I'll get back. And she did. She got back because she had that mindset of always getting better.
Absolutely.
Come on now.
Yes. And there's definitely a balance when you talk about taking care of a parent and still maintaining that respect. Right? Yeah. They're still your mother, and you want to honor her and make sure that you're treating her with respect and dignity at all times. And it can be a battle, because there's going to be some days where it's tough, and you got to make some tough decisions on some things that she has to do, which she may not want to do. so that comes with practice as well. That comes with, clear communication, right? And and instead of finding or fighting through an argument, finding the goal. The medication, she may not want to take the medication, but the end goal is for her to be better, right? And how we have a common goal for you to be better, right? These are one of the vehicles to help us get there, right? And so sometimes finding that common goal and building from there, right? It don't got to be something as long term, because in a lot of cases, a lot of people are doing caregiving that doesn't end with the person getting well, right? In your case, you were blessed with that opportunity where you were able to provide caregiving and your mother was able to recover. A lot of cases, when you talk about aging, you're talking about two 80-year-old individuals who've been married for 50 years, and now they're caregiving and their loved one has a chronic condition, and now the relationship has changed. The dynamics of their partnership has changed. So that's a lot to take in, right? It's a lot of change. So the main thing is, as the individual who does not have the diagnosis, as the caregiver, or the able-bodied individuals, up to us to make those changes to help support our loved one, right? And then that comes with learning that the relationship that we had previously is going to change, right? It has to change because of the new dynamics, right? And then it's up to us to try to navigate what that looks like, and it takes time. The biggest thing with caregivers, and what I try to do through my life coaching organization and the work that I do, is talking to individuals like myself who are, middle-aged working Americans, who don't always think about aging, right? I always hear people talk about, "Oh, you getting old," and I'm like, "Thank you. I want to be old, right? Because I don't want to be the alternative, right? So I want to grow old, right? That's a blessing. But as we grow older, just like anything else, you have to plan, right? And you have to think about things, and depending on your network, your environment, your culture as well. Not some people don't always thinking about aging and planning for aging. What does long-term care look like for me if I was to ever need it, or for my aging parents, right? Thinking about when you are taking care of an aging parent, you talk about, power of attorney, power of health, being able to speak and get information about your loved one, wills and trust, having finances and things in order that are going to help support you. So I always reach out to caregivers, and like I said, young people like myself, or younger, I should say, working Americans like myself, to start to reach out, especially when you're in that caregiver situation. Try to find some resources, right?
Okay.
An area agency on aging is available in every state in the country, but not very many people have ever heard of an area agency on aging.
That part.
Yeah,
wow,
that part right there.
Never
Yeah.
heard of it. Isn't it amazing? Just
Yeah.
wow. How can we make things be available for others to understand? Like, do we need? I mean, I'm being real with you. Is it a billboard? Do we need to show something? We need to have a bulletin board about it. How do you make that available for everyone to understand? Hey, this is available for you if you have someone that you're taking care of and you're in a position of being a caregiver.
Well, I mean, a lot of that falls on, some of the local politics and local organizations that help support seniors and senior supports. Um, but honestly, I think one of the biggest things is, and you mentioned earlier about breaking chains and things of that nature, is making it okay to talk about aging, right? Some people, when they think about talking about aging, they think of it as talking about dying or planning to die. No one likes to talk about death, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that is inevitable for everybody, right? And so when you don't plan for stuff, then there's going to be surprises, right?
Come on now.
Wow.
We plan for birthday parties, we plan for vacations, we plan for everything except for that. And then, we're on Facebook looking at people and they're like, oh gosh, that I feel so bad. And now they got to do the GoFundMe to help bury Uncle Jack or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But if we started having some of these aging conversations, at Thanksgiving, and just, kind of make it more of a normal thing, then maybe we would be prepared for, the inevitable, right? It's gonna happen. It's we just don't know when, right?
Yeah.
And so having, an idea on what does life insurance look like, what type of life insurance would be helpful for me, right? What does my insurance cover, right? Do I have insurance? Do I have long-term insurance, that covers, a nursing facility or whatever the case may be? Do I have my paperwork in order? Like I mentioned earlier, the power of attorneys, the wills, the trust, account information available to, whoever needs it when I'm not available to provide it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Wow.
Come on now.
That's
I want
some real talk, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead, Wise, because
And
that, ooh,
and I know anybody that's watching is listening. They may be learning some things. And some of what I'm saying may be overwhelming. It may be a lot, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you're a caregiver and it's like, look, I'm just trying to get through the day, make sure that mom has eaten, she's safe. My kids are good. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to get through the day. So when you start adding, the responsibility of these types of tasks and things to think about, it can be overwhelming. But it is necessary as well, right?
Yeah.
And so having these conversations with you two, being able to talk, and like I said, just trying to make the conversation around aging cool, right? It should be
Come on
cool
now.
to talk about it, right? We
Come on
should
now.
be able to share networks of our, insurance brokers for our life insurance or our investment brokers,
Facts. Come on now.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
that plays into aging, right? And so a lot of that, like I mentioned, yeah, a lot of people don't know about certain resources, and certain organizations market and advertise and get the word out the way they do, right?
Come on
Everybody
now.
has their own method and style. I work with an organization as recently as 4 years ago who were just getting on social media and really wasn't that impactful at all, right? So it's like, how are they getting the word out about stuff, right? they're still, banking on where we've been a small town and everybody's known about us before, right? Not understanding that the area is growing, right? The area is growing. More people are coming in. More people want to know about this organization. But if you're still advertising and marketing like you did in 1980,
Yeah, come on now.
so that's why I say that part really is, based off of that resource. But like I said, what we can do is have conversations like these on platforms like these, that spark conversation, that spark a thought about the aging process and what that looks like.
Come on now. And you mentioned resources. So I want to actually jump in and add this. You have an amazing organization yourself, makinglifegood.org. And on your website, the organization website, there are organizations, communities, programs that are listed. Can you talk about your website and how they can use that to actually help them to introduce them to other communities and also programs that can provide relief and support?
Yeah. So Making Life Good is a nonprofit that I started just a few years ago. Dealing with what I like to call my life coaching organization, but really what Making Life Good is it's a collaboration. It's a network of organizations and individuals that support our communities with resources and tools to make their life good, right? And so the website Making Life Good highlights some of my life coaching events and workshops, and Tai Chi, which is probably the most popular. But I also highlight organizations that do provide resources and support to our communities, specifically for caregiving, as well as dementia, which is a hot button term lately, as dementia is on the rise with the baby boomers now 65 and greater. It's become more prevalent in the news, but also things as well as holistic wellness, right? Finding ways to heal and grow in organic ways, and nutrition as well. Learning how to eat more organically and cleanly, that leads to healthier outcomes for individuals. So the website just highlights just a few of the organizations that I've partnered with over some time. I have more resources that will be coming onto the website as we continue to improve and expand and grow. But the website is really a hub of information and resources, not just centered around my life coaching business, but also centered around other local communities and even nationwide organizations that help support all of us in our communities that would be beneficial.
Come on now. That's 24 karat gold bars. Drop in. Indeed. Indeed. That's right there. Get information. And family, you definitely find more information just below the like button. So make sure you hit that like button and go down to the description, and you'll find a link to makinglifegood.org. And of course, we're going to, before we wrap up the show, we're going to give some more information about some other things that you're doing. And as you mentioned something about the standpoint of movement and organization, and you have now expanded to actually start using technology to stay connected. And I love you to explain that your online support. I know you had it in the concept, and I believe you will put it in effect how you are, like you said, people are isolated. Sometimes the caregivers and the care receivers can't get out; they get isolated. But you have now start using technology because you are a Tai Chi practitioner and expert in Tai Chi, and I love you to explain how can we use how you using the technology to reach out to other communities and stuff like that. And it might be and it's something that's an insight for other folks. So, Coach Mike.
Absolutely. And so during the 2020 pandemic, many of us learned how to become more tech savvy with streaming, Zoom, and other organizations that we use, even Google Meets and all that. And so a lot more people became more familiar with the service and the technology. And so we fast forward now to 2025. And like I said, we're 5 years out. People still continue to utilize streaming options because they realize, yes, some people can't get out. Some people travel long distances to make certain events and meetings of that and such. And so what I've done is I've done the same exact thing with the services that I offer. You mentioned myself being a a Tai Chi practitioner. And I've taught Tai Chi all over the state of North Carolina. And I've grown a pretty nice sized community of individuals who really enjoy Tai Chi and the workshops and the classes that I provided. And so we've taken those opportunities now where I offer it as a streaming option for individuals who are interested in the Tai Chi. So we actually have a Saturday morning Tai Chi event going on tomorrow morning.
What? Come on now.
Yes. At 9 a.m. tomorrow morning with a group of individuals who made the request to practice some Tai Chi with myself and continue to learn the martial art. So we've definitely looked to expand our opportunity, expand our reach. So we'll be offering more streaming events in the very near future. Not just centered around Tai Chi, but also some other events and opportunities that we'll have available. You mentioned movement previously, and Tai Chi is a physical and mental exercise program where we focus on balance and strength and range of motion and our stress levels. Increasing our self-care opportunities. But we're also going to look at some more specific falls prevention balance training opportunities in the near future. As both of you know, you mentioned at the beginning of the cast, I went to North Carolina Central University. Right, Eagle Pride, the best in the world.
Go ahead, my bad.
Right, but I also studied exercise science while attending North Carolina Central University, and so physiology and the way the body works is something that has always been a passion of mine. And so having the opportunity to offer a falls prevention program with my background and my passion for the human body offers just another self-care tool that I can offer to the communities to hopefully again impact them in a positive way and make their life good.
Come on now. I don't talk about it. Go ahead and throw that thing in there and making life good. And since he did that, I'll honor him with this right here. Yeah, Lego. Yeah, that's fire right there. Devin Flago, brother. You know what I'm saying? Y'all rising high. I give y'all weekend, y'all rising high. But the thing is, you are making life good. And by you understanding the science and techniques and things, and to know why things happen, and you provide practical techniques how to be able to make through it. So I want to continue our conversation because this thing is good, because you gave so much good information about why these things happen, the standpoint of movement, independence, just dealing with the emotional standpoint and the physical standpoint. I want to actually jump in. I'm going to get Coach Lekeisha thought on this process. Then we'll come to your Coach Mike, and dealing with overcoming fear of decline. And I think we all, even personally, in dealing with caregiving, that whole situation, and replacing it with a mindset of gratitude and growth. And Coach Lekeisha is so good with that, because her whole thing is teaching people how to use the mindset of gratitude and growth. But especially with Asian matters, I think it have a different type of meaning and actually bring a focus to it. So Coach Lekeisha, overcoming fear of decline and replacing with a mindset of gratitude and growth. What's your thought process dealing with this with Asian matter? And I'd love you to know your concept. Then we go to Coach Mike.
Absolutely. One thing about what you said, it is about changing your mindset. It's a perspective change. A lot of times, you have those that are, and, loved ones, even yourself, you may think aging, oh my goodness, is a bad thing. Well, let's change it, change the scope. Actually, it's a great thing versus saying getting old. I really don't like that word. I like saying, oh no, we're getting seasoned. We're getting a little seasoned. We're actually put a little hot sauce on it to make it taste better, right?
Don't make me hungry now. Don't make me hungry now.
Yeah, you know it. And just being able to change the scope of it. Like you said, just begin to really celebrate your years. Celebrate the time that you have. Actually being able to say, wow, I'm so thankful for the information that I've learned over the years. I want to express it and show it to others. I want to show them that this is really an amazing life to live. And I want to be able to continue to live it abundantly. So like you said, being active. It's important for all of us to be active. Let's promote that. Let's promote dancing. Let's promote movement like you're doing Tai Chi. Let's promote going into Tai Chi class. Let's promote going into a art class. Like actually promoting living long. And being able to utilize the brain and having, like, remember back in the day we used to have like those games where, you have to learn, what I'm saying, the little things that we used to learn. Remember we had to learn, what +2, what +3 means, and actually being able to have those, what do they call it? Those tic-tac tables. I don't know if they still have those, but actually able to do those tables and actually able to solve it. And it takes thinking to think of how to solve it. Honestly, it's not just those that are seasoned and older than us, but it's actually, being able to do that together as a community and beginning to say, you know what, let's go ahead and do this together. Let's go ahead and make that dinner together. Let's go ahead and make a new recipe together. It's sometimes, a lot of times, the element of, distress is doing things alone, being by yourself.
Come on now.
And when we change that scope, no, let's not do things alone. Let's go ahead and sign up for a course or sign up for a class with those that look like me, that, in my age group, that we do this together. Let's go to pottery class. Let's go paint. Let's do something together, because we're not meant to be by ourselves. You don't have to be. And a lot of times when we dissolve that, that's when we're breaking free, living unchained. And that's when you're able to move forward into a different perspective change. Just change your perspective. It's not about getting old. It's about having some sauce, having some seasoning on your life. Hey family, I am Lekeisha, and I want to talk to the ones that are feeling stuck. The ones that are feeling like you are in confusion, like you're feeling like you're in fear, like you having a season of loss of clarity and without confidence. Listen, my latest book, How to Get Unstuck, Confused to Focus, is truly for you. It was written for the ones that are feeling just like you're feeling, very confused, with no motivation, without a roadmap. And I'm giving you a roadmap. Grab your copy of your book. And I promise you, this book is really going to change your life. It's going to show you how you can have your purpose and understand that you have power, which you truly do. If you're in midlife, if you're someone who are transitioning from careers, if you're someone who's trying to figure out what's your next move, this book is really going to help you, and it's going to show you how you can break free from the mental clutter, how you can have divine clarity, and you can understand how you can move forward and understand to have a strategy and move forward ahead. Promise you, it's going to be great for you. Grab your copy, show it to someone else, because I promise you, you're not by yourself. Let's not move through the world without understanding who you are, because you have power. Have your power and focus with this latest book.
Come on now. This you dropping 24 karat gold bars indeed, and also making me hungry. So, you know what I'm saying? You raw hot sauce, you know, you talking about season and stuff like that. Now my stomach growling, you know what I'm saying? You mentioned all them programs. You ain't talking about going to a nice salad bar. They ain't well on my mind. But you ain't talk about going to a nice salad bar. Coach, come and save me. Coach Mike, come and save me, because my brain going somewhere else now. I know what I'm saying.
Yes. Let's wrap this up so his brother can get something to eat. Okay. But yes, I love what you're saying, Coach Lekeisha, and what that really comes down to, as a coach myself, and what I do a lot, is it comes down to self-care. Self-care is taking the intentional time to take care of yourself, right? And many people think of self-care of, oh, I'm going to take myself to go get a massage or go to the spa, whatever the case may be. And yes, those are self-care options, but self-care is so much more than just that, right? When you talk about, going and participating in the exercise classes, in the painting classes, things of that nature, right? Those are forms of social self-care, right? Going out and connecting with other people. That's social self-care. Having that connection, that purpose, right? That's that kind of spiritual self-care. Of course, with the physical self-care, the exercise, and the mental self-care of, completing puzzles and coloring and doing those art projects and things of that nature. It all comes down to self-care. But when you talk about older adults, there's traditionally two types that I've come across. You have the one adult who recognizes that they're getting older, and they do appreciate it, and they look to get out there and kind of do the things that they've wanted to do, and kind of, take advantage of their time. And then there's others who start to age and see the decline of themselves and start to withdraw from others because they don't want others to see their decline, right? So there's usually two sides of that coin, where you have some folks who are aging and want to get out and start to discover or rediscover themselves. And then we have some of those older adults who see the decline and they want to isolate themselves because they don't want individuals to see that decline, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's why when going back to like the streaming options that we talked about earlier, and having these conversations about connecting are important, because hopefully we can reach some of those individuals who have isolated themselves, right? Hopefully someone who has isolated themselves or who may be dealing with it or know someone sees this video and able to connect with that individual, right? And get them engaged again, because like you mentioned, Coach Lekeisha, we're not meant to live, alone and by ourselves. We should be engaging with others and having some type of interaction. And even if it can't be physically, like I just mentioned, having a streaming opportunity, whether it's a virtual support group or doing a video chat similar to like what we're doing here, those are still opportunities to connect with others, or even a phone call or a text message, even those smaller things, still having that contact, can make a world of difference for a lot of different people.
Come on now. 24 karat gold bars drop Indeed. All right, so we get to the close to the wrapping up of this amazing episode. Coach Mike, I want you to actually, you got a couple of events that coming up, especially in at the time of recording in November. So we want you to go ahead and actually talk about what's coming up and share with the people what's going on in your world.
Yes. So I mentioned tomorrow morning I'm having our Tai Chi Saturday morning event. And so even though that's an event for a specific group, you could definitely be on the lookout for those opportunities to be on our website in the very near future. But currently, the biggest event that we have going on is our Family Caregiver Conference that is going to take place November 13th at the Advanced Granville Community College. We are excited to have some phenomenal speakers. I was able to secure speaker Michael Lewis of Financial Family Solutions, a phenomenal speaker who's going to talk to our caregivers about finances and talk about some of the things that we talked about in this podcast as far as their wills and trust and those important documents and things that need to be in order as our caregivers take care of their loved ones and be prepared for the inevitable, or just be prepared for the future in general so that they can live the quality of life that they deserve. So Michael Lewis will come and talk about that. Then we also have Dr. Delone Canterbury, who's a describing pharmacist who's going to come and talk to our caregivers about the importance of medications and medication reviews, right? Understanding medications and making sure that they're advocates for themselves when it comes to medications and what's best for them. And then we'll end the day with one of my favorite individuals, Miss Lisa Levine, who is the executive director of the Dementia Alliance of North Carolina. And she's going to do a phenomenal program called Laughter Yoga, which is a very interesting but very fun concept that our caregivers can add to their tool belt of tools to help them. You know, we talked earlier about the emotions and the burnout of caregiving. And so being able to provide them with a tool that does not require funding or require anything from anyone else, but something that they can use whenever they feel appropriate to help elevate their emotions and bring them some joy in some of those tough days. So I think it's going to be a great event. In addition to those three speakers, we'll also have about 20 vendors from our local communities, everyone from life insurance agents. I mentioned that earlier. So I'm bringing the resources to our communities. So we'll have life insurance agents. We'll have local farmers that will be there. So our local folks can connect with the local resources that are available to them. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to it. You guys will be in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Will be there.
Come on now. There you go ahead.
Help support our caregivers, you know, to give them a voice, right? How awesome would it be if, you know, you guys connected with a caregiver who could also provide, you know, some information and insight on their journeys. So again, it's going to be a phenomenal event. We're expecting over 100 participants. I will be on the radio next week, WIZS radio next week, doing some promos there, along with some other radio stations here locally. So it's going to be a good time. We're going to have a great moment. We'll have breakfast there. You know, food brings everyone, so we'll have breakfast and snacks. It's only $10 per caregiver. $25 for professional caregivers. And that $25 also includes 1.5 continuing education units that they could use for their recertifications of their licenses. So very happy to be able to provide that for our professionals as well. So it's going to be a really good time.
Oh yeah, that right there. And let me go ahead and do it one more time. I had to do. Yeah, Lego. That's right. That's straight fire right there. And I'm looking forward to be there. Me and Lekeisha representing Living Unchained podcast, because we want to get a chance for all the voices there to get an opportunity to be, be heard. And it's a great opportunity. Like I said, it's going to be a packed place. And so we're looking forward for the opportunity. And we want to thank you, Coach Lekeisha. Before we wrap up the show, I want you to give your final thoughts and anything you would like to share with Coach Mike, myself, or with the community.
Absolutely. Coach Mike, thank you so much for this opportunity for us to talk about something that is needed to be addressed. We need to talk about aging and aging family members that we have. Those family members, if you are not hearing, if you haven't heard this before, it's important for us to address the elephant in the room. Aging. We are getting seasoned in age. It's a great thing. It's not something bad. We need to address it. If you haven't talked about it, let's go ahead and have a conversation about it. Maybe for a dinner with family or people, and just be able to talk about it. As we continue to talk about it, it becomes easier versus it not having a conversation about it. Now, mind you, those may not like it, but you know what? It needs to be said. We need to not have the conversation, when someone is getting ready to transition, or if they transition, that's too late. We need to make this aware for all of us and make it easy for ourselves. I love how Coach Mike said, hey, why don't we go ahead and have a conversation about it? Make it fun. Go and tap. So what did you say? Laughter and yoga. Let's go ahead and make that happen. I think that's an amazing opportunity. Let's go ahead and schedule time for us to do that, family. It's important for us. Now, when it comes to Living Unchained, we're going to be sold out about it because we understand the meaning of it. Family, if you have not connected with us on livingunchainedpodcast.com, make sure you connect with us. I promise you, we have resources out there for you. I'm there. Coach Wise is there. Listen, we're always there, bringing on understanding for us to break free from those change of the past. We need to make sure and move forward this year. So let's go.
Oh yes, let's go. She already mentioned the amazing website, so y'all guys definitely check it out just below the like button. Coach Mike, go one more time. Let us know how we can get in contact with you as well.
Absolutely. Thank you again for having me today. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be able to provide information and resources to our communities. I hope that anyone who watches this video now or in the future gets something out of it, finds something for them, and is supportive and is helpful for them. And so with that being said, please visit our website, makinglifegood.org. So that's makinglifegood.org. That's our website where we'll be posting about events, updating about upcoming events and past events, and different opportunities. You can also follow me on Instagram at I am Coach Mike P on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, Mike Patterson, my name. And I'm sure I'll be on this podcast and is on many podcasts as I can to, again, just share this information. And like I mentioned earlier, let's make talking about aging cool. Let's make it something that we talk about at our Thanksgiving dinners and at just dinner tables in general, right? It's nothing wrong with having a plan for the future. Nothing wrong with, talking about what it looks like to be taken care of when you get older, right? The plan is to grow old, right? And so as we plan to grow old, let's make sure we plan to have the supports and resources that we need so that we could grow old gracefully.
Come on now. 24 karat gold bars dropped indeed. Family, again, just below the like button, you go ahead and go to the description. You'll find the information about Coach Mike and his amazing website, and also the amazing website of livingunchainedpodcast.com. And there you'll see additional information about the Break Free community. We want you guys to definitely be a part of that community, you know. So definitely there are 2 tiers. We have the access, the circle access, which is, you know, it's almost is a free membership. You can go ahead and join. You get a monthly newsletter on the information about we talking about, and also other activities. Then there's a paid tier that where we be really dropping 24 karat gold bars, and literally, I mean, we really do be dropping 24 karat gold bars with information, training, lives, and upcoming giveaways that's going to be coming soon. So we'll be announcing on this, definitely on this podcast. So, all right, family, we thank you for each and every person who will listen in today. And you know what I'm going to say. Love is a action word. Where you're taking the time to love yourself, make sure you show love to someone else. And we'll see you on the next Live Unchained podcast. So, family, we want you to take care and also peace.